Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me. When you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me where you're watching from, and also tell me how old you are. This is Workouts for Older Men. I help older men with busy, productive lives find the workout strategy, the eating strategy that's best for you, not just only based on your age, but your time constraints. Can you get this done in less time? When you're more effective, when you're more efficient, when you're more certain about what you're doing. I want to help you weed through all of the different workout strategies, all the different diets that are out there. I know you're getting bombarded with passionate fitness experts, coaches, mentors, just guys just wanting to help out with information. And I know how confusing it is. Right. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'm a former 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. I'm 61 years old. Been doing this a long time and helping out a lot of men like you for a long time. Built my first internet website in 1994. Wrote my first book on bodybuilding in 1994. All right. Sold my first VHS tape way back when in 1999. So I've been doing this a long time. I want to help you answer all your questions. Maybe as you're processing all the information that you're hearing on the internet, maybe you thought you were doing it right. Seemed like it was working, but you heard a different workout strategy, a eating strategy, and now you're thinking you're doing it all wrong. You hear about this carnivore diet. Is that the way to do it? How much protein do you need? Right? Should you train each body part several times a week, or is one time a week enough? Right? I know it's tough enough just to get yourself on a pattern to even dedicate yourself to the gym, even get yourself to eat right. You want to know you're doing it right. I want to help you do that. When you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me how old you are. I want to answer your questions. Also, thank you so much for the likes, the shares, and the follows. Thank you so much for your support. I do this live broadcast. If you're new, I do it every single day, 7 days a week at this time. It's 4 a.m. Pacific time. You're always the first person I talk to every single day. So again, I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad you're here. Hooked Beast 1 is 45 from New Zealand. So glad that you are here. Again, make sure that you follow, guys. So Eddie, I've been working out since 24. I'm 32. Now I'm not feeling it anymore. How do I get back into it? You're not feeling it. You mean just the whole working out thing, carving time out of your day to get to the gym. Yeah, you're not feeling it. Yeah. It's common, even for those who've been doing this, for 35 years. You have your times where you're into it and you're not. It's really connecting to why. We all have a different reason why we're doing this, right? Obviously, for someone like me, even if I don't feel like doing it, right? If it's, I'm invested. It's my job. I got to walk the talk. All right. So I have to be accountable to you. Sometimes it's being accountable to someone else. And we will do more for other people than we will for ourselves. So now the big reason why I always eat right and I work out is for my kids. At 61 years old, I have a daughter who's just about 11. I have a son who's 9. And I got to live a long, healthy, productive life. I mean, a life with energy. Someone actually, I was talking to my brother and he said, having kids, young kids at your age, man, how hard that is. And I don't have any other choice. I can't compare it to when I was younger. All right. So, so got to find a reason, as I talk to my kids, as you get to know me from these live broadcasts, for those reasons, knowing that I don't have as much time as a 25-year-old father. I take my parenting really seriously. All the life lessons that I learned, all the mistakes that I made, all the successes. I mean, I am so distracted, even everything. I'm obsessed. I'm committed to teaching life lessons to my kids. And one thing that, and so the two of them, one, it's what are they imagining in their mind at that moment? Is today a great day or is it a challenging day? Is this a big problem or a little problem? Or is it no problem at all? Are you so focused on what you want and positive imagery of what's going on in life, what's around you, that you block out the negative? they're making decisions on what they choose to focus on every single day, the choices they make, and it's creating their world. And I'm just right there, always giving the input when they're not reframing their life's events or what they're focusing on in the right way. Always offering them a more positive, empowering thing to think about at that time. I'm obsessed, right? I don't want them to get in the patterns. My daughter, I don't want her to get in the pattern to protect herself, to always think of the downside, always prepare her for the downside. All right. And that's what we're all doing. We're all doing it better or worse or somewhere in between every single day. And so when it comes to being motivated to work out, to show up for these live broadcasts, to actually take what I say and give it a shot, what are you imagining at the time? Why are you doing this? It's all right. It's in your mind at the time. I hope I bring that energy, something that helped me survive, through all the ups and downs of my level of motivation too. Just being here. Sometimes as you're asking me questions, and I'm really into it, right? I'm really connected. I sit back and I go, wow, you've been doing this for a long time. You probably answered that question literally 5,000 times. But you bring so much passion to it. I sometimes surprise myself when I'm watching the replays of these videos. All right. But I want to bring that energy to you just by showing up, right? Just a little at a time. But yeah, it's always everybody's different. When I coach men, the first thing I'll do when someone comes to me, they want to know about coaching. All right. Everybody loves my message. They love what I promise. They love the simplicity if they take the time to actually connect with me. They want it in their life, but everybody doesn't want it equally. And then really your desire will determine, how well our journey goes. And so I want to make sure everyone is actually ready if they're going to make that investment. It's not just the money that's involved, but the time, putting their hopes and trust in me that I can finally, when you're sick and tired of this, finally get you to the other side. And I work with a lot of men who are really great at what they do, their jobs, their family. They're really committed. They just didn't put a lot of time and effort into their working out, just haven't cracked the code. And it's weighing on them, right? With all the great things, they're looking at that extra 40 pounds they just can't seem to get rid of. They're just sick and tired of settling for that. And they finally want to do something. So when I'm talking to them, I'm really getting straight, and I go through a goal setting session with them. If someone's really committed, I'll take an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And I'm very skilled at taking them through this, where they imagine all the different reasons why they want this, the challenge they're getting in the way, and what they have to do to get through those challenges and finally get what they want. It's not just about their physical body, what they see in the mirror, or even their health. A lot of men are concerned about their health, right? It's how it ties in with their entire life, and we're all different. And sometimes, and I've gone through these with my coaching, not necessarily in fitness, but it's surprising what really motivates you when you really dig deep. If you are interested in one of these 90-minute goal setting sessions, reach out to me. It's powerful. You'll be surprised what's deep inside why you want this. And when you become more conscious of what you unconsciously, your hopes, dreams, challenges, fears, all right, you get aligned. And then working out on a consistent basis the way you should, eating the way you should. It's never easy, but it becomes a lot more simple than what we're doing right now. And then you just put in the effort. But it all comes with being really clear on what is what. And it's emotion. With my kids, again, I go back to these kids are the greatest thing for me at this point in life, because how they think, it makes me think how my thinking has developed, what kind of example that I've set, right? But every moment, why are you doing this, right? Everything becomes a lot more simple when you're really clear on why. And then it's just a matter of doing the work, and you just pour it on. See, I really believe most men, they'll do what it takes. And especially when I really simplify the process for them, maybe some guidance for a few weeks, they'll do it. They're more than willing to pay the price. So if you're thinking, I'm lazy, can I ever change that? It's probably not clear on what to do, because I really believe when a man's clear, he knows the price to pay. He knows the price he's going to pay, how long it's going to take, even if it's longer than what he expected. As long as he's clear on the challenge in front of him, the obstacles, what to do. He has this, at least some sense of certainty it's going to work. He'll do the work. You will do the work. I know that about you. If you've been watching these live videos, if you're making a part of your day, you just keep on knocking on the door. It's getting your mind right more than it is the strategies. All right. But I know it's confusing. I want to help that part of you. Right. So I hope that's helpful, Eddie. I'm wondering what that is for you guys. Reach out to me. I do those coaching sessions. I get your mind right. If you know a little bit about me, I became obsessed with personal development 6 years before I became obsessed with fitness, bodybuilding training. So at the age of 28 is when I really locked in to working out on a consistent basis, started my competitive drug-free bodybuilding career. But 6 years before that, at the age of 21, a coworker pretty much dragged me because I had no idea the personal development world to a Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, if you know who that is, motivational speaker, right? A seminar he came to our part of the world. I live in Northern California, and it totally changed my life. How the power of the mind, and that's where that's why I'm with you here today. That's what keeps me going. Is all that, So some of you, I would say of all the men, at least half of them are familiar with the personal development world. It's helped them become successful. I apply it to everything I teach when it comes to working out and eating. It's an important part of that. And I hope that's helpful. You guys reach out. If this resonates with you or you're a sets and reps guy, I can help you either way. Either way, there's many ways to unlock the clarity, the confidence you need to get doing this. You've seen men just like you finally they've mastered their health and fitness. They made it a part of their thinking life. I want to help you do that too. All right. So let me get on some of these questions. All right. Hey, that's a great question, Eddie. When I come on, some days I have a plan of what I want to talk about. Right. But I really get inspired me coming up with versus the questions. They just give me energy. And so it's a great question. I hope that's helpful to everyone here. Reach out if you want some help tinkering with the mind. It's the most important thing. All right, Daniel, I work out 6 days a week in the gym, push, pull legs. Should I integrate cardio? Right. Cardiovascular training. All right. So now, again, I really specialize in older men who have busy, productive lives who want to get the workout strategy, the eating strategy, right? So, when it comes to building muscle, losing body fat, obviously the organizing principles, whether you're young, old, or somewhere in between, are the same, right? But it's a simple question like cardio. Should I incorporate cardio? A younger man, and again, I know most of the information that you're getting is not from someone who's going to be 62 years old this month. It's not from someone who's been doing it for 35 years, right? It's somebody necessarily younger. It's their identity. It's their life. They're willing to do more to reach their goal. And they're not contracting to see how if they can be more efficient with their time, right? It's very muscle building centered. Like that's the most important thing in the world. So when it comes to training, all right, taking time off, working around injuries, how much you should eat, how much protein, it's just muscle centered. You may not realize that. Right? This quest to build muscle. That's a younger man's way of looking at it. Sure, when you're older, you do want to build muscle. But we're thinking about this for health and longevity, right? More than anything else. All right. And so the question about cardio, just the question of cardio, should I incorporate cardio? Well, the reason why that's even a question, in my opinion, doing this for 35 years, looking on the internet just like you, the reason why that's even being asked is because cardio, if I do cardio, it's just going to melt my muscle gains away. Man, keep cardio to a minimum. Avoid cardio. Certainly, distance your cardio. Don't do it before. Don't do it after. Do it 12 hours. Come back to the gym. Whatever you need to do, keep cardio away from your weight training efforts because it's going to just evaporate all your muscle gains. None of that is true. It's greatly over-exaggerated. And I think a lot of it, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a mind reader, but most people don't want to do cardio. So if you can find a reason, put an exclamation on it, we will do that, whether that's true or not. will do that. So cardio has a bad name in the muscle building world. In the muscle building world, that is a younger way of thinking. We need to do cardio when we're older. And it's not, and let me just tell you this about cardio. If you want to get lean, ever since you were a kid, right? I need to get in shape. I'm going to start jogging. Cardio. You think of the guy on the treadmill who's overweight, just on that treadmill, it's got a towel, sweating profusely, overweight, right? Cardio, it's greatly over exaggerated. It's a lot of men greatly overestimate what cardio will do for fat loss. All right. So that's going to be done with your diet, right? Cardio, you should incorporate, of course, burning calories help, but that's all going to be neutralized. That's not a long-term plan for fat loss, where you must really concentrate on your diet to lose that fat loss. Cardio helps, but not as much as most men think. But at this age, you should have cardiovascular help, and get away from that whole muscle building obsession, right? Because cardio, it's good for your blood circulation, your oxygen circulation, your heart health. We need to do all that, right? Again, looking through the prism of being a father, my kids, what they eat, how they work out. See, when your body is younger, right, from a kid to a teenager, a 20, 25-year-old, right, all the bodily functions work better. Well, hopefully when they're young, your heart health, blood circulation, oxygen circulation, how you process food, liver function, everything works better when you're younger. Even when you're healthy, as you age, we need help. All right, we need to help ourselves out. And that's when cardio becomes important for heart health, overall general health. And I recommend, at least 4 cardio sessions a week for at least half hour, moderate pace, right? For heart health, not for burning body fat. And definitely don't worry when you do those 4 sessions at a half an hour, right? Don't worry about your muscle just evaporating. That's not going to happen. If you don't have enough muscle and you don't like what you see in the mirror, it's not because of the cardio you're doing. Our bodies can withstand a lot more than you think. KJ, how are you on YouTube? It's been a minute. I'm so glad you're here. So KJ, are you subscribed on my YouTube channel? Are you subscribed? And then I just came up again. Is that it? Is that why we're connecting again and I popped up? Or have you been following me way back, since the 90s, since I was a bodybuilder, right? But I hope that, that cardio from that perspective, muscle building, fat loss, cardio, I hope that's helpful, all right, when you decide for cardio. All right, I want to acknowledge you for being here. Thank you so much for the likes. Hey, I appreciate you being here. You being here watching for 10 seconds or 10 minutes, right, on TikTok, let's say. It's going to attract men just like you, right? TikTok has done a great job of how they do it. And then the other platforms like Facebook and like YouTube, they're going to keep up with TikTok because TikTok has been so successful. What they do, what TikTok does, is when someone like me is going to show up live every single morning at 4 a.m., whether I feel like it or not, right? They're going to reward me. And at least for a moment in time, they're going to flash a lot of you. Hey, I noticed you're into fitness. Hey, check out this Skip LaCour guy. And I'm going to be on your For You page, at least for a minute or so. And I've got the opportunity of 10 seconds to wow you, to draw you in, to maybe listen for 10 more seconds. All right. If I do a good job, then you follow, right? Just being here. And then they're going to find more and more people. So every minute you watch, thank you so much. It draws more men just like you. All the likes, thank you so much for the likes and the follows. The likes and the follows will help me build this audience, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge you. All right. Zachary Rodriguez, thank you so much for the follow. Rick, thank you so much for the follow. Daniel, thank you so much for the follow. Cuban Crypto 17, thank you for the follow. By the way, I'm doing this live on my TikTok page, and that's at Skip LaCour, my YouTube channel at Skip LaCour, and on Facebook at Skip LaCour page. Hey, make sure that you're on all my social media platforms. And then also visit my skiplacour.com website. Maybe I'll bring you over there today. Tell you every single question that you're asking. I probably have a 10-minute, 20-minute, half-hour video that's going to answer the questions you have right here, right now, today. Then you go over there and probably you probably find the questions that you'll have next week, a month from now, a year from now. It's already been answered. So it's a great way to go over there, get a steady flow of the information, the inspiration that you need now that you're a little bit older, right? Especially if you're sick and tired. If you are sick and tired of carrying around that extra weight, of settling for a body that just isn't you, right? Your business, your family, I mean, that's who you see you are, but you just never, this whole fitness, this body, it never matched up to how you see yourself. You've been settling when it comes to fitness. I get it. I understand it. Fitness may not be the area that I'm challenged with, but I have those areas in my life too, where I say that I want it. It doesn't match all the other things, the teacher, the coach, fitness, the 6-time champion, the father, the coach, the mentor to my kids, whatever. Everything that I put a lot of effort into, and that I can look in the mirror and say, yeah, that's me. And then we all have this one area of life that, will I ever get it together now that I'm older? I never did it before. I live a pretty good life. Why am I settling in this area? We all have that. If fitness is your health, your fitness, the way you look in the mirror, carrying out too much body fat, not being able to work out for your health and longevity, and you must, you just can't do it. Well, I want you to stay here. I want you to reach out to me, right? I want to help you when you're sick and tired. Finally, find an effective and efficient, simple way to handle this in a sustainable manner. So you don't go on some crash diet, you don't work out 7 days a week for 2 hours. Try to get yourself in shape. That never works out. And then you got to do something else anyway, some other strategy if you were to get in shape, but that doesn't work out. Love the honesty. Well, thank you so much. I'm always interested because I'm just speaking my truth. It's not a decision. Well, should I be honest? Should I not be honest? This is just 35 years of pure passion, not just my journey, but really talking to men like you, thousands of men like you. All right. One thing that's different about me, as I do my coaching, it's one-on-one. Of course, I do these live broadcasts. I do videos to teach. All right. But I do one-on-one coaching. I take one person, at a time, take them through a journey. I mean, and I have several clients throughout my day. All right. But I've spent so much time, talking to men because, it really doesn't work. I mean, sending emails, sending texts, sending you a series of videos, sending you to an app where it's just videos that are out there anyway. I mean, it can be streamlined, it can be helpful, right? But finally cracking the code, man, there's nothing better than just talking to a person one-on-one, right? Obviously, it's more. I mean, if I could just email or send people diets or send people workout routines, not that I don't do that, but it's your understanding of it. It's not just the workout. Working one-on-one, it makes all the difference in the world, right? Maybe a little bit more challenging for me, right? But that's what one person at a time that really makes a difference. So if you're interested, reach out to me, or you can direct message me. If you look at all my videos, you'll see my personal cell phone number there. You'll see my email address. There's always a way to get a hold of me. Avery, thank you so much. Stephen H., thank you so much for the follow. Dave Cadegan, thank you so much for the follow. Martin, what are you stunned? Martin says, I'm stunned. What are you stunned about? But thank you so much for the follow, Martin. Slew 2, man, you are amazing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, especially sometimes, Martin, I get up, at about 3:20, and I'm going, what are you going to talk about that you haven't talked? This is probably my, 1,000th live video. When you go to skiplacour.com, you see all the videos. everything I talk about, all the private one-on-one conversations. All right. Doing this for 35 years. Sometimes I wonder, what are you going to get up and talk about? Are you going to bring the energy? Hey, you're not feeling it, right? And then, I appreciate the small comments like that. They really give me more energy. Keep on going, keep on hopefully delivering some passion and energy to you. So I appreciate the comments, believe it or not. Terry, thank you so much for the follow. Joshua, thank you so much for the follow. Don't want to miss anybody. I can't get rid of my lower stomach fat. All right. So let's talk about body fat. Talked about this yesterday. Every day I come to you with a message in addition to answering your questions, right? And I'm going to ask you what you find most valuable when we sign off today. So think about this. What are you finding most valuable about the time that we're spending together here today? But yesterday I talked about really most men's challenges. I know you're looking for the workout routine. Maybe how many sets, how many reps, right? Do you have to use heavy or lightweight? It's all focused on training. And you should master your training, right? It should be safe. You should feel certain in the gym. But most of our challenges are two things, right? Too much body fat, and then mastering a deeper understanding and then execution of our diet, our eating habits, which leads to losing that body fat. Most of your challenges are that too much body fat, even if you look better than most. It's getting leaner. That's going to help you transform that physique. And then to do that, it's taking your eating habits and then your understanding, but your execution at higher levels, right? I'm telling you, when you understand that, that's where your focus and attention should be. You want to be confident, work hard in the gym too. But that's where all the challenges are. So now Escanora is talking, can't get rid of my lower stomach fat. All right. So obviously he looks pretty good. He's probably looking better than most if he's just complaining about the lower stomach fat. All right. So that's usually the first place it goes on and the last place it goes off. So even though you look lean and obviously the way you eat, the way you work out, it has a pretty good product already, just not to the level that you want. Well, the next level is going to be your eating. For most men, again, everybody's different. It's not that you're eating too much. It may not be that you're not consistent enough with your eating habits. Many times what it is that you're not maximizing optimizing your metabolism to help you burn that fat. A lot of times we've crashed it and it's worked to this point, but we're not eating enough food. Now I can say that, I'm eating enough food, but you're just eyeballing, you're just estimating this. It's just instinctively, this seems to work and it got you here, but you still have the lower body fat. Many times, again, I can't know everybody's situation, but many times you just aren't eating enough. The way you've been eating obviously worked to this point if you're just worried about the lower body fat, but the next level may be optimize your metabolism, and that may be the counterintuitive journey of eating more food. Now, how do you know that? Well, then I'm going to say, well, how many calories you're eating? Most women have no idea, and until I really press them, they'll never even find out. I just asked you a question. Obviously, it must be important, but you've been conditioned that it's not important. You have some younger passionate fitness expert who's skipping too many steps ahead, telling you don't have to count calories, right? But you can look this way and you can be eating 1,000 calories a day. Many men, they'll do intermittent fasting, 2 500-calorie meals. Seems like a lot of meals. You kind of grind through, you get used to doing that, right? But 2 times 500, that's 1,000 calories a day. Now, some of you have, is that good? Is that bad? No, that's way too little food. And if you're eating 1,000 calories a day, maybe you're doing intermittent fasting, you've done it for a while, and you have lower body fat, you're never going to lose the lower body fat eating 1,000 calories a day. You got to eat more. You got to go down that counterintuitive journey. So I made a lot of assumptions in your situation, but that's the toughest place. You've done a great job of being lean, staying lean, if you're only worried about the lower body fat. Now, again, depending on your standards, a lot of times your lower body fat, it might be acceptable. You might even like it first thing in the morning, where just when we take on fluid, it's not fat. It starts to collect there. So maybe, in the afternoon, you don't like it, but first thing in the morning, that's your real level of body fat. So it might just be, the water weight. Am I juicing? I am not. No steroids, no TRT. Nothing for me. I'm a former 6-time national champion, drug-free bodybuilder. And just in case you're asking, I'm not juicing juices, vegetables, and drinking my nutrients either. So I'm not juicing that way either. Do you think that we can all take the vitamins that our body only from our food without supplements? Yeah, I do if your diet is good enough. I mean, if you're the type of person who is going to follow through and really have that type of eating habits, because there's a wide range of their people's motivations, what they're willing to do with their eating habits. Then if you're going to go that far, then usually someone with that mentality, they're the best person to use supplements, right? Because they've taken care of everything that is controllable. They do a great job. They're consistent with that. And then why not take supplements just to fill in any nooks and crannies, because you've done so much work. So it's interesting. The most committed person is probably the best person for supplements. And everyone who has no eating habits thinking that supplements are helping a bad diet, even an average diet, really supplements aren't for them. I hope that's helpful. Cloud Surfer, thank you for the follow. Christian, thank you for the follow. Dustin, thank you for the follow. Are there other workouts you recommend other than what? Some of the, look, when you know the organizing principles, you make all of these workouts work, right? When you know the organizing principle of overload, right? How to stimulate the muscle, consistency, intensity. Those are all terms that we all, hey, well, I work hard, I train with intensity. But when you really know, I don't care what it is. I don't care depending on your schedule. If you can only be in the gym for an hour a day, 3 days a week, 45 minutes a day, 3 days a week, and you do full body workouts, that can meet your goals depending on what your goals are, right? If you wanted to train the push-pull split, push-pull legs, like was recommended, if you know the organized principle, that can work, right? If you have the time for it, it's dedicated. If you want to do one body part once a week, believe it or not, some people think I got to do more. That's not enough to stimulate muscle. You know how to do that. You can make that work, especially depending on your goals. So there's certain organizing principles, all of them work. And that's the key to all this, all right, is to understand the organizing principles that make any weight training program work to build muscle. Even really understand what weight training is for and what it's not for. Weight training is not to get you cut and ripped. You may have been on a weight training program and you got lean, you got ripped, but it wasn't because of your weight training program. It's really the way you probably clean up your diet. More reps don't get you ripped. So if you're trying to transform your physique by looking leaner, it's not in your weight training. So even understanding what weight training does and doesn't do. A lot of men don't even understand that. To a lot of people, wait, go back. What did he say? They don't even understand what weight training is for, how it transforms the body, how it doesn't transform the body. But then when you know the organizing principles, you'll see you can make any one of these training programs work. It's just, what do you prefer, right? And then what do you believe in? So then you can put your full focus and attention in it. Put that 15 out of 10 effort, not a 10 out of 10 effort, a 15 out of 10 effort, right? That may seem like, well, you're just using words. No, right? Because you can have the best strategy in the world when it comes to training or eating. But if you're not putting enough oomph into it, enough intensity, enough energy into it, not just a 10 out of 10, a 15 out of 10, right? It's not going to work. And then you're going to think it's a training strategy, where it's really you. All right. So if you go to skiplecore.com, everybody has what they prefer. And so when I work with older men with busy, productive lives, I really emphasize getting more done in less time. Crank it through the intensity, boxing yourself, doing less volume, less sets, less reps, less frequent, certainly eliminating all what they call junk sets. Eliminate so you can just build muscle, get the hell out of there, watch your eating, get lean, get strong, and get on to the other important things in your life. And a lot of times when the experts are younger, they don't have the time constraints. They've committed themselves as part of their identity. So they're at the stage, even at 20, 30, that they're doing way more because they're not sandwiched in with all your constraints yet, where they have to use all that knowledge. Well, this is all fun. This is great. Obviously it works, but is there anything I can eliminate? See, that's the journey at being 62 years old this month, is that I did it all that way. I got great results as a 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. But once I retired at 41 for the last 20 years, I had to become more efficient as I expanded my goals in life, and I wanted more, but I still want to be in shape. I'm so glad I went through that, because I realized that a lot of all these different, from carnivore diet, high protein diet, man, I've eaten as much as 500 grams of protein, doing everything else right to properly evaluate how much the body really needs, right? In addition, fielding all the questions, right? So carnivore diet, intermittent fasting, cardio before you workout, bracketing, or 6, 8 smaller meals a day, everything, heavy training, more volume, all right, finishers. I've done it all. And so I could properly evaluate what's important, what's not, because everything isn't important. It's not. There's a saying that says that if everything is important, then nothing is. And a lot of guys, I'm telling you, most of the information that's viral, new, exciting, gets the most likes, gets the most attention. It's not the stuff that you need if you're a little bit older, busy, productive life. You've been doing this for like a couple of years or less, looking pretty good. But now that next level seems to escape you. Most of the information you don't need to. It's interesting, you could do it, but they're skipping over the basic organizing principles, right? They're assuming you know it. A lot of the men are assuming they're doing it. So they're forced to give something new and exciting for likes and views. I keep on bringing it down to the basics that you need to know, you need to understand, to get better and better at. Luke, thank you so much for the follow. How to boost one's metabolism? Well, consistent workout habits, obviously, whether that's weight training, cardio, in a gym, at home, walking, depending on your goals, right? And then really, what's going to really do is optimize it through proper nutrition, consistent nutrition, making sure you eat enough and not just eating too much. Eating clean, whole foods will help. So it's all these good habits: sleep, rest, avoiding stress, all of those things, all those healthy type of things. Again, weight training, a little bit of cardiovascular training when you're older, especially, right? Eating habits, that's a huge, huge one. Sleep, right? And then avoiding stress. Those things, they all work, not only be healthy and fit, but to really optimize your metabolism. You're welcome. Hello, Robert. Great to have you here, sir. All right, Luke, Scott, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes too. See all those likes piling up on TikTok. I don't normally ask for likes, but I think a lot of you guys are liking it. You just don't know how that may help me build my audience. So I shamelessly thank you for the likes. Make sure you tap that like button. What do they say during the lives? Tap that like, but make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. This is a good the subscription, not subscriptions, the follows over on TikTok. It's good. Can't wait till Facebook and YouTube start doing what TikTok's doing and saying, "Hey, this guy's going live on my platform. Let's show him some new eyeballs. See if he can keep them." Right now, if you are on YouTube, so a lot of you watching on YouTube right now, for my small focus of helping older men with busy, productive lives. Are you brand new? Are you brand new? Have you subscribed? Make sure you do subscribe over on YouTube. But being here with me this morning, did it just flash? You just were on YouTube or whatever, and it suggested it to you? All right. Same thing with Facebook. Did this just pop up on your screen as you're scrolling? You at this point, you have not subscribed. You're not following. Guys, make sure you're on all of my social media platforms, and make sure you go to skiplacour.com. Man, a wealth of information over some videos. I have taken the time to make sure that you answering all your questions, all of your questions in advance, right? Questions you'll have 6 months from now, you can get a preview of them because they've already been answered for you on skiplacour.com. Not like I don't like answering your questions here every single morning, but if you want to speed up the process, make sure you go there too. Make sure you sign up for my email list when you go to skiplacour.com because I've got a series of emails that will be dished out to point you in the right direction at the right time. Do you eat before you work out? I don't eat before I work out. I don't eat. And again, all the different theories, you got to eat before we work out to protect the muscle while you're working out. So, I've heard all those things. I don't eat before I work out. I don't really want anything in my stomach when I work out. So where are you from, Milford? Thank you for being here. It's evening time where you are right now. Are you in the UK or New Zealand? Where are you, sir? Ghostface, thank you for being here. Marius from Cape Town, South Africa. So glad you are here. One thing that when I bodybuilding, and then a big part of my time coaching, I really work with an international audience, right? And I have a lot of coaching clients from all over the world. When I have kids, by the way, I've got a daughter who's almost 11, a son who's 9, and they became the center of my world, right? Because of the different time zones, I don't even advertise or try to promote on the other side of the world. So a lot of my Australian friends, the New Zealand friends, my friends from the UK and South Africa, about for the last 10 years, I just randomly come about you. So I guess this is a good time. What time is it in South Africa? What time is it in the UK and Australia right now? I guess I can look that up, but this 4 a.m. time might be a good time. And it's still early in the morning on the East Coast. I know a lot of you over on TikTok, this is your morning commute into work. All right. I got much less sleep because I started a job. I think that could be the reason for the lost weight. Let's see here. So the last month, I lost like 4 kilos. My strength is the same. Do you think I lost some muscle? I wouldn't worry about. I wouldn't worry about that. Make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you're overload training, being consistent with that. Many times we confuse the loss of size with loss of muscle. And if you believe that, you're going to have a real challenge looking the way you want. There's this counterintuitive journey that as you're getting smaller, you got to keep on going, even though people are going to say, do you still work out? You used to be a big guy. You must have stopped working out. Or even worse, are you sick? You're getting skinny. That's what regular, normal people who don't work out, they have no idea how that messes with your head. Have you been doing this? And they mean it as a compliment. All right. But there's this point where you're going to have to understand weight on the scale. You're probably going to weigh less. If you're going to finally look the way that you want, look amazing, you may not have the size that you thought. The scale might not, might not be as heavy on the scale. That vision that you were working towards, it might look that way, but you may not have as much muscle or size that you think you have. That size you had was marbled by too much body fat. So to look the way you want, to have your capped up, show some separation in your arms, something that's going to, show on a t-shirt, that definition through your shirt. If that's the body that you want, you may, in most cases, you're not going to weigh as much on the scale. and you're not going to have that size. So instead of having that extra large t-shirt, you're going to look amazing in a large t-shirt. And if you don't understand that journey, you're never going to get there. And you're always going to have some muscle, but always be a little fluffy and saying, man, I wish I had more definition. I'm going to get to that someday. Well, maybe in the past you've tried and you were confused, like a lot of men, thinking that size was muscle, and it prevented you from getting as lean as you should. The magic, people have different. I saw somebody and he said, "This is what I don't know what he said. 12% looks like." I'm thinking that doesn't even anywhere near 12%. It was pushing 20%, right? I mean, it looked good, but that's not 12%. So people throw around those numbers. It's really what you feel comfortable in the mirror, whatever percentage is, and those electroimpedance where you get on a scale and it's supposed to tell your body fat, those aren't reliable. Directionally, comparatively over time, they may be helpful, but I wouldn't count on that number, right? So if the real magic happens around 15%, and if you know how to do that and you love that look, it isn't that hard once you understand how it works. Most men don't understand, and so they never get there. Good morning, Jeff. Jeff on Facebook. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for being here. So it's afternoon in South Africa. Milford's in New Mexico. Thank you so much for being here over on Facebook. So glad you guys are here. It's a good show so far. I love the questions. I love the energy. I love the amount of viewers. We're building that. I think the more consistent, by the way, my name is Skip LaCour. I'll be 62 years old here in about 3 weeks. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'm a former 6-time drug-free bodybuilding national champion. I retired from that 20 years ago. So I took all that knowledge, that dedication, learning all the strategies that probably confuse you, and I will help you differentiate what's important and what's not. So make sure that you follow, make sure that you're alerted every time I go live. I do this at 4 a.m., 7 days a week. All right. At least that's what I'm going to do. As long as it gets reciprocated, that's what my plan is. All right. So I appreciate you being here, and make sure you visit skiplacour.com. And let me just say this right now. A lot of men, when they watch these live broadcasts, if you're the type of man who does what it takes to get what he wants, all right, you don't want to wait around and hope your question's answered. You don't want to wait around to hope someone else answers your question. You're here for the inspiration. You love the energy. You love to focus on your fitness. But you want to, make this a more efficient way to learn. Reach out to me. I want you to reach out to me. I make myself available. And I usually talked about 2 or 3 men who watch me on today's show, where maybe they've been watching for a while. Maybe this is the first time, but they're ready to take action. So that number on the screen, text me there, 925-352-4366. Introduce yourself. Text me a picture. Right, whatever you feel comfortable with is fine. You don't have to take your shirt off. Right, that helps me. Picture tells me 1,000 words. Right, so now you've contacted me, showing some initiative, and then go to talkwithskip.com. That address, talkwithskip.com, it'll take you over to my skiplacour.com website. You'll fill out a questionnaire. You'll get really zoned in on what it is you need to do. You'll submit that to me. You'll get a copy of that too. So now you filled out this questionnaire. I have a picture. You've texted me, and I'll reach out to you by text, by email, maybe a phone call. We'll set up some time to talk. We can do that today. I've got time today for a few men, right? And in that time period, right, I can get you zoned in on what your biggest challenge is, right? Give you some validation if you're doing it right, so you can just keep on doing it, work harder, doing what you're doing. And maybe I'll make some adjustments. Maybe I'll tell you got it all wrong. Whatever it is, I'll get you clear on what you have to do, and more importantly, give you a time frame on when you can expect results. Because a lot of times we're doing it right, we're winning, but we feel like we're losing because we don't have a clear understanding about the time frame we should expect results. Right, so that's what I can do in the time together. tackle your biggest challenge. So text me at 925-352-4366, then fill out that questionnaire, and I will contact you. All right, go to talkwithskip.com, fill out that questionnaire. So again, I usually have about 2 or 3 foremen who do that every single day. Kristen, thank you for your answer, sir. Thank you so much for being here. All right. We get to some of these questions there. Again, thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the follows too. I appreciate that. I always assume I must be putting off a better source of energy, all right, when I see as many follows, right? So I appreciate that. Good afternoon, Liam, on YouTube. Liam, where are you from? And Liam, are you already subscribed? All right, did I just roll across your screen? I sound like a church priest says disloyal on YouTube. Is that a good thing? I guess that depending on who you are and your past experiences, that may be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe just a speaker, an accomplished speaker, whether it's a fitness coach, a life coach, or a church priest. Maybe all speakers sound the same. Who knows? I don't think I've injected any religion into when I'm talking about working out, eating. Have I this morning? Let's see. So let's see. I remember. See this here. I remember watching you and Jeff back in the day. So he's talking about bodybuilding over 20 years ago. You were one of the few guys who could explain why you train the way you did and why it works. You look great, man. Keep it up. Well, thank you so much. So BB, I'm real curious. So been doing this since I stopped competing, right? Opening up to an audience for workouts for older men. Now, have you just been subscribing to my YouTube channel, BB, for the last 20 years, and then now we're meeting again because you're a subscriber, or did I just come across your screen and then we've been reconnected that way? Let me know that. Let me know that if I just popped up on your screen over on YouTube, or you were subscribed. Just want to know how this is all working now. Arif, thank you so much for being here. All right. Get some of these questions. Good morning from Virginia. Thank you so much. Great Dane, man. Thank you so much for being here. Chronic Pain Warrior joining me. Thank you for being here. All right. Hey, thank you for sharing the feed, Christian. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Talked about eating before I worked out. Anthony, thank you so much for the follow. Print Escobar, thank you so much for the follow over on TikTok. What protein really works? All protein works, right? You can get it from your diet. I'll just tell you that, right? I don't know what protein powder works, right? Which is the best protein. I'm not really sure. I don't really have any real knowledge of any of the different supplement companies to make sure I can vouch for what they're, putting into their jars, right? But protein works. Protein powder works too. Talked about boosting your metabolism. Let's see. Let me get to some of these questions here. Workouts I recommend. Again, go to skiplacour.com for the workouts. You're a diabetic. You've been working out for 5 years and you're not losing weight. Tell me what you're doing with your eating habits. So I know you've been working out for 5 years. I know you're diabetic. But I'll tell you that weight you want to lose, it's all going to be in your eating habits. Tell me what you're doing there. I'm sure you're doing something, but taking to the next level of understanding and execution with your eating habits is what's going to help you lose weight. Okay, I'm 58 and have been using Body Beast bulk workout for about 7 months, 6 to 7 days a week. Okay. That is respect. Good job. Thank you so much. Cloud Surfer, thank you for the follow. Talked about getting the vitamins from your food. Can you do that? Please, cutting workout program. You know what a cutting workout program is? Same thing as a muscle building workout, but you watch your diet. That's a cutting workout plan. You get cut from lean, you lose that body fat from your eating habits, not from your weight training workouts. Right. If my shoulder hurts from a game of beach volleyball, but I love to work out, should I rest it for a week? When it comes to any type of injury, right? Okay, this is important. So a lot of us, especially when you're older, you might have injuries, whether it's from gym, training, life, whatever it is, right? So, the bottom line is if you want to build muscle, you have to tax the muscle. You got to overload. You got to push it past what it's done before if you're going to stimulate muscle and not go backwards, keep what you have. All right. There's just that's the minimum price of entry, right? That you have to do it. So if you can do it, you can't do it. You can do it sometimes. You got to do it, right? So if your injuries, are preventing, so the bottom line, you won't be able to build muscle. That doesn't mean you can't walk, work on your heart health, blood circulation, oxygen circulation, and watch your diet to lose body fat, to keep those body fat levels down. But to build muscle, to work out, you got to overload the muscle. So depending on your goals, nobody can really feel your pain. And if you went to a doctor, if you asked me responsible, I'm going to tell you rest as long as you can, right? I'm not going to push you because I can't feel it. Those are the risk reward that you have to take. But a lot of times, if you're just fit, you're in shape, you probably have enough muscle, most of us, right? Losing that body fat. So knowing that one more rep, that 5 more pounds, when you are a little compromised, when you have an injury, it's not going to lead to muscle. Right? It doesn't work that quickly or that way. Then it might be better in the long run, putting it all into a perspective that way, to just wait until you feel better. Right? Thank you for the share, 2 cent. Appreciate that. Harley Man, thank you for the share over on TikTok. So I know what to eat now. Even brought a smart food scale. Where can I find good recipes? Put good, healthy recipes on the internet, right? Probably find thousands. Bill Bixby, thank you for the follow. Terry, thank you so much for the follow. Right, so I think hello, David. Stephen, thank you for the follow. Avery, thank you for the follow. Let's see. Maybe some of you are still watching it, scrolling way up to the beginning of the show. See if I can answer some questions. Questions here. Let's see. From New Jersey, 66 years old and looking great. You're looking great. Well, thank you, sir. Patrick. You ever have an IFBB Pro card? I qualified to have a card kind of through this Team Universe drug tested contest, but I never got a Pro card. That wasn't where I was going, and I don't care what I look like, drug free. It wouldn't have been enough to compete as IFBB Pro. Any tips on binge eating? I always do good for 2 weeks and then go off. Yeah, connecting to what, why you don't want to binge eat, why just having some of it will work. Fantastic for 61. Well, thank you so much. I'll be 62 years old later this month. I'm awesome, Captain. Thank you for asking. I'm 48 years old. I've been 12% body fat, 6 foot 210. Wow, that's a big man. That's lean for so much weight. Eating healthy is definitely something I need to improve upon. You know what? That's everybody's biggest challenge, right? The next level of eating, no matter how good you look right now, the next level is through your eating habits. Don, thank you for the follow. Mr. Workhorse, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the share, Wifey for Lifey. Thank you for the follow, Stan. I think I got all the questions here. All right, so reach out to me. Reach out to me. All right. Again, I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you a couple of things as I close out the show. Reach out to me. All right. I take a few minutes every single day. I'll help you with your biggest challenge. Text me at 925-352-4366. Send me a picture, whatever you feel comfortable with, and then go to talkwithskip.com. Fill out that questionnaire, submit that to me. You'll get a copy too, and I'll reach out to you. Work on your biggest challenge, get you validate what you're doing right. Maybe suggest some adjustments that you can make your plan, maybe a better understanding, and give it a realistic time frame that you can expect results, so you know that you're on the right track. Right. For those of you who are ready to take action, right, a lot of guys, well, man, I like this guy's style, the way he does this. I want you to go to Solutions with Skip, solutionswithskip.com. All right. So you can go there right now in another browser. Go to solutionswithskip.com. I've got a great coaching practice. Let me just tell you the best thing about it. All right. For $147, the best thing, let me go to the, is that you and I would talk for an hour on a recorded coaching call. I'm going to use my 35 years of experience, not just doing it, helping men like you. There's a lot of things I answered during my live broadcast that, wow, this guy knows what I'm thinking, right? It's really senseless you trying to do this alone. All right. So in 1 hour, I can get you straight. And again, if you're just sick and tired of carrying around this X weight, being frustrated, confused, reach out. It's the best investment you can make. 1 hour with me on a recorded call that you can listen to over and over again. So in addition to that, you get instant access, training routine, exercise execution videos to how to, really take that training routine at a higher and higher level. There's 11 hours and 12 modules of training, nutrition, motivation, mindset, system, strategies, how to interpret this information. 11 hours of focus power. When you're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life, you get one source of all this information from me. Right? There's a 90-minute video where I identify the biggest challenges men like you face and their solutions. So you'll think, so that's just not me. No, it's not just you. Right? If for $147 investment, I'm telling you, check that out at solutionswithskip.com. Let me kind of play this here. Yeah, so you'll see everything that you get there at solutionswithskip.com. All right, so check that out. The biggest fitness challenges older men face and their solutions. Here's everything you'll get. Workouts for older men training routine, 31 exercise instructional videos, training log sheet, the biggest fitness challenges and solutions, 90-minute video presentation, and a 12 module, 11-hour audio coaching experience. Limited time bonus one-on-one coaching session with me. For a limited time, you'll get a private one-on-one coaching session on the phone, recorded directly with me when you take action now. All right, so check that out. Go to solutionswithskip.com. And I'll tell you, so you'll get instant access to all that information. All right, username and password. That's going to be distributed right away. Right, then I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to reach out to you and then we'll set up our one-on-one time together. I get in that recorded call. That's when all the magic happens. I tell you, if you're watching a little video, you can't seem to get it, just sick and tired of this place of confusion, frustration, carrying around the extra body fat. All right. This is the time, right? And then I'm going to reach out to you, call you, text you, have you fill out a questionnaire, get a picture, and then we can really accomplish a lot of things in our one-on-one coaching session together. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me for today's Workouts for Older Men Live, coming to you every single morning, 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Today, we talked about a lot of things. We really focused on why. So we really talked about, your reasons why. Your why. Encourage you, right? Let's see here. We talked about why, all the different reasons why this is important to you. I answered a lot of your questions, right? So again, thank you so much for joining me. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.